Clint, when you looked at the Georgia defense on film, did you think, hey, I thought I was out of the NFL?
There's no doubt. Extremely talented group, extremely well coached, play physical, play violent. There's a reason why they're the best defense in the country. That's a reason why they're the #1 team in the country. And kudos to them. They play their tails off. They're extremely well coached, and it'll be a huge one for us this week. Really good test for us.
I imagine that gets the juices going a little bit, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge challenge, and anytime you're walking into a game of this magnitude, I mean, it's still a game, but I mean, it's a big one, right? And, I think our players understand that, but it's not too big at the moment. I think we're just trying to get better still. And but I do believe our players will rise up and play their tails off.
When you watch back LSU, what was working in that game that you felt like you could build on in terms of everything kind of clicked?
Yeah, I mean, I think quite a few things. In the run game, I thought we did some really good things in the run game. I thought we stayed ahead of the chains. That was a big thing. We weren't great on third down, but we didn't really have to be in that type of game. Converted on a fourth down, which was, like I kind of came in and talked to you guys about, was being better in that situation. We're 5 for 5 in the red zone, which you feel good about there. But it was more just the management, I think, of the game from our players and how they executed the plan. I think just gave us really good confidence moving forward as a unit. And as I mentioned to the players, it wasn't one guy. It wasn't the Wandell show. It wasn't this guy. It wasn't that guy. It was so many different players contributed to the win, at all positions, which just gives our team more confidence. And that's really ultimately where we need to go.
You talked about scripting out that first couple of drives and having success there, and it's looked that way. How much more important is that this week?
Huge. I mean, huge. These guys just very well coached. They're similar to Florida in a lot of ways, where you might not get more than one chance to expose them on something that you're trying to dial up. Against Florida, first third down of the game, we have it, we don't throw it. Next time we come back to it, they had it fixed. So we just can't miss our ops in this game, and in any game, really. You just can't miss ops. You just need to take care of it and strike when you can and when you have the right looks. But at the end of the day, it's really about our players making plays. If you watch all the games against Georgia, the people that have had success and the guys that have competed with them, players are making plays. Guys are rising to the occasion, making plays. Yeah, scheme is definitely involved for sure, but this is a great op for our players to go out and be special.
Speaking of that, since Georgia's been so good in the red zone, especially defensively, how big are those explosive plays and you guys have to make?
Yeah, and they haven't given up a ton of some go balls. Excuse me. They've given up some go balls. Those are more one-on-one opportunities. They're playing a little bit more zone coverage than they used to. They're playing a little bit more zone, playing the run with some light boxes, letting their front kind of handle the run and letting their safeties play a little top down. So a little bit different scheme than what they were doing a little bit more last year. But so it is tough at times to get over the top, especially when you have a rush, as they do. You try to max protect and hold on to the ball. Something that's not usually a good recipe against these guys. So we just need to be smart about the shots that we do take.
What does Davis 99 present to you in the middle of that?
Yeah, I mean, just total freak. He's just enormous, physical, fast. I mean, it's a challenge for sure. I mean, you look at him, he doesn't look like a ton of the other guys that we've played, but I think our line is playing at a high level right now. I'm really proud of the way that they're playing. Coach Wolf's got those guys going. Led by Luke Forner, Darren Kennard. I mean, they're doing such a really good job. Eli Cox playing at a high level right now. I feel good about us matching up with them. You still have to block them and maintain those blocks, but I feel confident about our guys up front.
The way you coach Levis now, are you all getting more on the same page about how he likes to play? How he kind of like a boxer, takes blood and ready to go?
Totally. It looks like he likes to get hit early at times, and it kind of wakes him up and gets him going in the flow of the game, and sometimes that's normal. And he's just such a competitor and wants to win, wants to do everything so well that it's our job, like you mentioned, like a caddy, just slow him down a little bit. Hey, next shot, next play, next throw, and just trying to stay as a partner for him, as somebody that can just help guide him throughout a game, and just continue to get better and better.
You run the ball well. They stop the run very well.
Yeah.
How do you strike a balance when we have to establish the run versus we're beating our head against the wall and going nowhere?
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line in any game. You know, it's you have to go with what's working, but you also need to create balance throughout a drive, which is not always easy to do, but you need to stay ahead of the chains against it. They cause so much havoc on third downs, and that's where you see a lot of games over the last few years get out of hand is 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and they're teeing off on you, strip sack, fumble, game's changed. And so we need to, ball security is at a premium this week, and staying ahead of the chains, early down success, and just trying to be balanced like I kind of thought we were last week with some of the pass game that we did create, being efficient that way.
Liam, speaking about that ball security, what do you think Will has done better in the past couple of games to protect the ball?
Just like I mentioned, just slowing down his thought process. Just slowing down his thought process, which then in turn slows his feet down, and now he can the whole game then slows down for him. So I think over the last week, last week that was the huge focus for us. That's going to continue to be the focus moving forward. Something that you just got to continue to harp on, work on, and we take care of the football and we run the ball and we're efficient, we should have a chance.
What should you say about Chris that he seems to obviously he's got it paid attention every week, but he's gotten that fumble thing. It's gone away the last couple. When everybody was talking about it, everybody was focused on it. He managed to figure that out.
Well, you get what you emphasize. We've emphasized ball security every day since, and knock on wood, and that's just as much as on them. It's on us to emphasize that every single day, and you get what you get out, what you work at, and I think that's something that you need to work at every single day. For us to be able to be successful, you can't turn the ball over, and for us to now emphasize it every single day when we start practice, I think it just helps the guys get more reps at it.
Going back to Will, sorry, while we're talking about the run game, Will last week ran 11 times. The only other time he did that was week 1. Just how much does that open it up for your other backs to get into the run game, to get the ball running?
It's huge. When you have a threat at the quarterback position to run the football, you create, more gaps for the defense to defend. And I think that's huge. When you can have a quarterback be able to run the football, keep the defense off balance, whether he's going to give it or pull it, he does a nice job at really riding some of those zone reads and giving the defense the illusion that he's handing it off, and then he pulls it, and ended up working out pretty well for us last week. And he made a couple scrambles that extended drives, and one was a broken play, and then the long one was kind of a broken play. He just fought. He knew where the ball was supposed to go, and he just went there and ended up making a great play. So he's a competitor. He's a football player, and the more we can get out of him that way, the more dangerous we can be, I believe.
When you talk about getting him to slow down, how hard is that to get a quarterback to slow down?
It really wasn't that difficult. That was, if you watched them for the first few games, there was some good tempo rhythm. This position is much like a dance. It's not herky-jerky violent. It's a dance, footwork, rhythm, timing, all that. And last week we just sat down and watched all of his throws over the last couple games and just said, this is where we need to improve. This is the good, this is the bad, this is when it's good, this is when it's bad, and how do we fix it? Last week he made a conscious effort to do those things, and it showed up on Saturday. So we need to continue to do that. It's really not that difficult, but it can be at times.
You alluded to it earlier, but when you're playing a team where a lot of it comes down to guys just winning matchups, do you put less on them in preparation?
Yeah, that's a really good point. We'll look at it today. Typically Tuesdays you go out and kind of stick your whole game plan a little bit against the wall and see what sticks. See what you want to run, what you want to throw out. I do believe that we'll cut down some things to try to simplify so our kids can go out and play fast. I do believe that is something. Just letting the players go out and make plays and be special. And the less you can do from a formation, motion, all those kind of different things, allowing our players to play fast, usually the better off we'll be.
Thank you very much, folks. Hey,
Thanks, guys.